The Deepwater Horizon oil rig explosion, which cost 11 workers their lives on April 20th, was a tragedy of enormous proportions. And the seemingly unstoppable leak of millions of gallons of oil has created an environmental and economic disaster of unimaginable proportions. Let us all remember that this catastrophe is not the first to befall this region in recent years. Hurricanes Katrina and Ike, the 2008 energy crisis, and the recession each brought new layers of devastation to the Gulf, devastation that families and businesses are still working to overcome. Just as the people in the Gulf region began to recover, they've now been hit with a new disaster, one that has leveraged even more trauma on an already delicate economy. The oil spill has put a halt on nearly every component of the economy in the Gulf region. Right now, Louisiana has been hit hardest by the oil spill. The state's economy relies heavily on oil and natural gas production, chemical and petrochemical production, commercial fishing, and tourism. Louisiana contains about 10% of all the known U.S. oil reserves, and it's the country's third largest producer of petroleum and has impressive reserves of natural gas, producing approximately 1/4 of all the U.S. supply of natural gas. The state's commercial fishing industry is responsible for about 25% of all the seafood landed in America, and its tourism industry employs over 87,000 workers. Travelers spend an estimated $5.2 million in the state each year, and sadly the oil spill has effectively shut down each of these segments of the state's economy. As the spill spreads east, the economies in Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida are soon going to be under siege. Florida's tourism industry, which is responsible for 80 million visitors each year, could be particularly devastated by the oil spill. And this industry brings more than $60 billion in taxable sales revenue and employs in excess of 1 million Floridians. The widespread implications of this bill become clearer every day. We must work together to minimize the environmental and economic impact of the spill and determine how we can help rebuild the Gulf region. So on June 16th, BP agreed to create a $20 billion escrow account to compensate affected business owners, and other victims of the spill. And as the independent authority on processing and administering payment of the hundreds, if not thousands, of claims that are soon going to come from the businesses, Mr. Feinberg will be responsible for keeping the economy and small businesses in the Gulf region intact as we all work to recover from the spill's destruction. Mr. Feinberger, I look forward to your testimony today with a special interest in how you're going to ensure the claims processed are orchestrated efficiently and fairly for small businesses. And I'm sure you're already well aware of the critical role such entrepreneurs play in America's economy, and I expect that they will receive adequate compensation so they can survive yet another disaster in the Gulf and come out stronger on the other side. With that, Madam Chair, I appreciate again you calling this hearing.
Thank you. Now it's my great honor to welcome Mr. Kenneth Feinberg. He's a founder and manager partner of the law firm Feinberg